I am back! I am here for another video. So today, I have a different kind of video. Yes, let's go. New type of vibe. I'm changing my YouTube path. I'm changing already. Sorry. So today, I am going to be telling you guys a story time. Story time vibes. Walt Disney is shaking. Well, no, he's actually dead. Today, I'm going to be giving you a story time about the time I was a passenger on the Flight 370. Prank. That was an easy prank. Are you serious? No, I wasn't on Flight 370, but I was close. And let me tell you that story, okay? It was Christmas 2018, about 7 months ago. Me and my family were in San Francisco, California, visiting my cousin, and the rest of my family was out there for Christmas. I'm gonna give you like a couple days before. It was Christmas Day, and my grandfather got this little sickness where he was throwing up. The next day after, me and my family, like 20 of us, all decided to go on a tour, like a bus tour of San Francisco. That day, my grandfather couldn't do some of the stuff. Later that night, my aunt started to get like the same kind of thing. She was not as bad, but she was out. Like, it wasn't good. So that was the 26th, and then we were leaving the next day. We go to the next day. My aunt's like not doing the best, but she's a little better. We're packing up from our hotel to leave and go home. On the way home, we decided to stop at the Pacific Ocean, because that was the first time I'd ever been there. A bunch of us had ever been there, never been there before. On the way to the Pacific Ocean, my sister started throwing up in the car. So we stop at the Atlantic Ocean, or the Pacific. We stop at the Pacific Ocean, and we take pictures, and then we decided to go to the airport. Our flight, I have to tell you this. Our flight, we had a red eye. We would be leaving San Francisco December 27th, and we wouldn't be arriving back home until December 28th at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We got to the airport at like 4 o'clock, so we were literally waiting there for like 7 hours for our flight. We sat around before, we couldn't even check in until 6 o'clock, I think it was, so we were sitting in the entrance of the airport for 2 hours. My sister wasn't feeling good. My mom wasn't feeling good. My sister was still throwing up. My mom just felt super tired. And I was just sitting there, and we were all like almost about to sleep. It turns to 6 o'clock, we're able to check in, we're getting all of our security and stuff, and as we finish our security, my grandmom starts saying that she doesn't feel good. So she goes into the bathroom, and she starts going both ways. It was awful, like so scary, like literally out of nowhere. No one suspected anything. At this time, my grandfather was taken down, my aunt was taken down, my sister was taken down, and my grandmom was taken down. That was 4. And then my mom wasn't feeling good. That was half of the people that were on the flight with us. So my grandmom's out while we're waiting for our flight. We still have like another 3 hours, I think it was. So we were waiting there. We got dinner. I got like this off-brand Chipotle. I forget what it was called. It was pretty bad. I think we played Uno for a little bit, but everyone was sleeping. It was awful. It turns to like 10:30, we're able to board our flight. Then as we get onto the flight, it was pretty hot, and that's important. It's important, remember that. We take off at like 11 o'clock, and I was like, I can't fall asleep. I could not fall asleep, and that was my main problem. 20 minutes into the flight, my brother pooped his pants in the middle of the plane rides and had diarrhea for the rest of the flight. I was next to him. My grandfather was on the other like entrance aisle, so he had to get up across my grandfather and go back to the back of the plane. I watch Wonder Woman, finish that. It's around 4:30ish, I think, and my brother says that he doesn't feel good. Before he could get up, he started puking in the middle of where we were sitting. I was next to him. He just started puking. I couldn't stop it. My grandfather needed to get a bag, put it in his face. Now here's where it gets awful. And who was in the center of it? Me. I think it was like exactly like 4:52 a.m. December 28th. I was listening to Rihanna, Where Have You Been? I don't know how I remember that to this day. I started to feel a little nauseous, and I told myself, okay, we have 1 more hour left of this flight. I can get through it. I lean over to my grandfather, and I tell him, Pop, I have to go to the bathroom. At this point, my grandfather had to get up so many times because my brother had to poop. He tells me, no. I said, get me a bag then. And before that happens, before my grandfather could get me a bag, I start feeling this numbness in my hand, and it slowly trickled up both hands. I swing to the left, swing to the right, and I passed out on the plane at approximately 4:53 for 5 minutes. Unconscious, not like tired, not sleeping. My mom, when she sees me pass out, she starts to feel lightheaded too. And then my uncle, who was sitting behind me, was actually like getting stuff done, doing stuff. Praise him. They go get the flight attendant while I'm passed out. They bring me orange juice. I think orange juice like helps your senses or something, I don't know. And then I also got a cold rag. So I wake up and immediately I start throwing up in the bag that I asked for right before I passed out. It was a sticky situation. I believe it was because I was too hot, like I said, or it was just the sickness going around. But why would I pass out when everyone else was just throwing up? That's where I'm stumped. I think it was because I was too hot. I will sue that flight. Not much longer. It was the end of the flight. I get up, and as I'm walking off the plane, like, it just felt very weird to walk. I was like crying because I was so embarrassed. No one around us really knew what was going on just because it was so early in the morning. We drive home after. I'm asleep the entire ride home. I was so exhausted because I didn't sleep at all on the flight. So I get home and I have to stay awake for like 3 more hours. I think we got home at 8. And then I had an appointment, a dermatologist appointment for this at 10. I was practically asleep on my way to the dermatologist and on the way back. I got home from the dermatologist appointment. I sleep from like 11 to 1:30, and then I woke up to puke a couple more times, awful, and then I slept in until 3:30. After that, I got up because it was December 28th. I was opening my Christmas presents because that was the first time I got home. So I was opening my Christmas presents on December 28th in like the middle of the afternoon. What? Get out.
Is he filming?
Hi!
Okay, so now that that is done, where even was I? Oh yeah. So it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, but then I went back to sleep at like 7 o'clock. I slept the entire day. I think I watched Bird Box. I think I was just trying to get over the fact that I passed out. Like, that was so scary, and I've never had any conditions like that before. I think I was just trying to get over like that fear. That's my little story time. Hope you guys enjoyed. That experience was very scary. I've never gotten over it, and I knew I had to tell this story at some point. Check out my other videos, watch my upcoming videos whenever they come out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications to get notified every single time I post a brand new video. Follow my other social media accounts. My Instagram is Michael Hartman with 2 I's, and my Snapchat is Michael Hartman with 2 T's. My TikTok is michael.hartman. I hope you guys enjoy. Watch my other videos. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out. Bye.